Let me go to Maureen. Maureen, hi, how are you?
Hi, Niall. How are you?
I've been listening to what Charles and Nicholas and everybody is saying. And yet, here's intelligent people. We're all reasonably intelligent, I suppose, to some degree. And yet we seem to have a better understanding of this than our own government, which is bizarre.
Yes.
So who do you blame for what's going on in Britain primarily at the moment, and Northern Ireland, of course, over the weekend as well? Which, let's be clear, Maureen, there's violence. I mean, serious violence.
Yes, there is. But a lot of us predicted that civil war would break out in countries. And unfortunately, in England, the cold-blooded murder of 3 little children, and that thug would have murdered more if he could, that lit the fuse.
But how did that light the fuse for the purpose of that? But because this guy seemingly was a Christian. He was born in England and Wales, in Great Britain and Wales. So, there was people on the day it happened. I know there was people sitting there waiting patiently for it to be announced that he only came in last week and he was a Muslim. You know what I mean? They were waiting patiently for that to happen, but it didn't happen.
It doesn't matter, Niall. It still lit the fuse because the people had enough. Every weekend, London was destroyed with pro-Palestinian protesters, Islamists, and the police did nothing. Two-tier policing. They were even asking Jewish people to stay off the streets or they'd be arrested. I watched all these videos. And the same is going to happen here. Because we have, I call him a Gormless, now saying he's going to buy up every empty building to house the 20,000 that are going to be arriving here. So it's coming to every town and village in this country too. And at one point, the fuse will be here too, and we'll be in the same position.
But nobody wants that. But hold on, even you, even I, Charles, Nicholas, whatever, nobody wants a situation where people are running around randomly setting fire to buildings or breaking windows. Nobody on any side wants that. That's not the solution. Because, as the lad said earlier on, that gives the government the right to turn around then and say, look, you're all just a bunch of thugs. I told you.
Well, they do it, Niall, because they've had enough. Tempers rise. The traitors are not listening to the people. They are still bringing them in. They are shoving them in where there are families. They're putting them into small places, and these are generally working areas. They're not putting them out into the posh places. So what can the government expect? The people are not going to stay silent and allow this to happen much longer.
Allow. When you say allow this to happen, what in particular? Because in Ireland and England, there seems to be 2 separate reasons why people are protesting. Kind of same root cause, but 2 separate reasons. Here in Ireland, people are protesting over accommodation and people being put into accommodation, near their areas. That seems to be the main form of protest, the main reason for protesting. There has been no national protest in relation to immigrants per se. Whereas in the UK, the main reason for protesting at the moment seems to be, British people versus Muslims.
It seems, yes, it is, because they've had enough of them too.
And what do you mean enough of them?
Because the Muslims have been given free rein all the time. They were allowed to run freely with machetes and knives, and in one TikTok video, the policeman can be clearly heard on the loudspeaker telling the Muslims to put their weapons back into the mosque, so that they won't be seen with the weapons. It's 2-tier policing because they're siding with them.
Well, I did see that video. That's completely unacceptable.
Well, yeah, there is parts of England, it's ghettoized. White people cannot walk in there. Over the weekend, there was a 66-year-old lady standing at a bus stop, stabbed to death by one of these thugs, just waiting for a bus to take her to work. That is not acceptable, and people have just had enough.
Stay there for a second.
They want it back to a Christian country, like we want ours back, a Christian country.
Okay, but I'm assuming you blame the thugs for behaving like thugs.
Thugs behave like thugs. But the government are at fault, and also these people that are called international protection applicants, that just came from the EU. There was a time when they were called illegal aliens, and we need to start taking back the correct language. They are alien to us. and they're here illegally, so they're illegal aliens.
According to the British government and now the Irish government, you're not allowed to use the term illegal immigrant anymore. You must use irregular migration.
I'll use any term I like.
Okay, stay there for a second. Let me go to
freedom
Aaron.
of speech.
Aaron, hi, how are you?